So glad to see so many faces here. My name is Andrey. I work in Pixonic as lead influencer marketing manager, and we've been working with influencer marketing for quite some time. It's nearly 2 years for us. We made this line of work performance-based, so we're getting good ROIs from every launch we have with bloggers. But we had some problems when we first started working with bloggers because of the myths we heard from our colleagues and from people from other companies. Today I want to tell you about 7 of those myths, and hopefully after my presentation there'll be a much bigger chance for you to jumpstart this field of work in your own company. So there'll be like 7 myths. I will make some arguments about them being not valid, and after that we'll have a Q&A session, so if you'll have some questions, please write them down and just remember. Let's go. The first myth, influencer marketing is very different compared to the usual user acquisition. And that's one of the most harmful myths that I know. The thing is that there are a lot of really good marketeers that think that their experience doesn't work with the influencer marketing. That's not it, and here's why. Let's see how the structure of working in the usual user acquisition works. You start the campaign, so you sign a contract with ad network, you get the source lists, those are the apps that the ads are rolling in those apps, and then you just optimize the sources. So you basically see which performs well and give them more money, or just get rid of the bad ones. Let's see about the performance of influencer marketing. You get the bloggers, you launch videos with them, it's just like starting the campaign, and you optimize the list of the bloggers you will get next. And as you see, it's quite the same. Getting bloggers is the same as getting a source list. Launching videos is the same as starting a campaign, and optimizing, as you know, is optimizing. Now, there's one very core thing about everything you do in marketing, is getting a historic data. The same goes with the usual user acquisition and performance influencer marketing as well. The thing is that historic data is kind of different, but you still need to grab any bit of information you can get. With influencer marketing, you can get the theme of the channel, the type of integration you are having, the duration of the integration that you are having, and so on and so forth. Historic data is one of the most valuable things when you will work in influencer marketing. So I think this myth is busted. Let's go to the next one. Direct contact with influencers is much better than working through agencies. This is kind of logical one. When you just start this line of work and you have only, I don't know, $10,000, you think like, why should I give $3,000 to a company to do basically my work? That's not the case, and the agencies can be really helpful, especially when you just start working with influencer marketing. So the first, you still need historic data, as I told you previously. And to get historic data, you need to have like a lot of volumes of bloggers coming live. And it's really hard to jumpstart a campaign with Blogger. They're not too business savvy, and that's why it will be really painful just to sign a contract with them. Agencies know how to do this. That's why you'll get more and more bloggers coming right up like super fast. Then agencies know better how to work with those bloggers. Once we got one situation when we didn't have a released video because Blogger had really bad hangover. Well, agencies know how to get rid of those situations and make your video go live when you want it. Plus, agencies have experience with bloggers and they know bloggers. So you see this really big spreadsheet about bloggers, about their topic, about how many average views do they got, and so on and so forth. And you think, hey, I like this John. I will make him join my campaign. But the agency can have other experience with this blogger and say like, hey, he's like the one who won't be on the deadline and he'll be always arguing about your guidelines. So they know best how to work with those bloggers. And one quick off top, the next panel that will be in this room is with agency that we're working with from Zorka Mobi, so stay here. The myth is busted. Let's go to the next one. It's better to use small amount of channels and pick only one theme. It's kind of logical as well. If you have a game, you want to look at the gaming YouTubers, right? The one who games. That's not it, and you will lose a lot of money if you will think so. First, theme of your product shouldn't be equal to the theme of the bloggers you're working with. I'm not too lucky, and I work with games, and gaming channels are overheated right now on YouTube. They're super pricey. They don't give you a lot of volumes of installs, schedules, and they are always overbooked, and that's why it's really hard to make like into your launch into the deadlines. What to do better? By not picking like the same theme. As in the usual user acquisition, think about your target audiences. Think about their interests. Think about what they can watch else on the YouTube. In my company, our target audience are men who are 30+ years old. They already have family and maybe a child, but they're still kind of cool dads. So they like play some games and have some beer with their friends. And we think about what are they interested in. Maybe it's fishing, maybe it's hunting, maybe it's DIY channels, maybe it's repairing something channels and something like that. So it works the same as the usual user acquisition. And if you're lucky, you will occupy the niche. So you'll find the niche which is not overheated and not too pricey, and that will get you to the positive ROIs really fast. And you need to, have this historic data that I told you already. If you'll get a lot of bloggers with different topics, with different themes, and try something new to with each and every of them, you'll have more historic data, and you will know better how your app or your product, what works with YouTube, basically. So it's busted. The next one, working with famous bloggers with huge audiences is a good idea. That's really, really interesting one. And my answer here is just no. Don't use those channels. As I told you previously about the topics, about the themes that are overheated, certain bloggers are overheated too. So the myth is busted. Let's go to the next one. Okay, no, it's not busted. Let's dive deeper here. So big channels are overpriced. Like, have you ever heard about how many money does the PewDiePie gets? And that's the thing about every big blogger, really, because they are always overbooked, overpriced. And one of the worst things is that they are always thinking about themselves and about their channel, but not about your product. And because of that, they will always argue about your guidelines, even if they are not strict. They will just say it because they are stars, and they want to do it their way, not like your way. And in the workflow, it's the worst thing that you can have, basically. What to do better? Before I told you about what not to do, well, right now I'll tell you what to do. The good idea is to take a bunch of middle-sized channels. They should be from 150,000 to 300,000 views per video, like averagely. Those channels already have big audiences, and they're usually always growing because they already have this huge amount of people watching them. And it will be the best idea to make long-term contracts with those bloggers, because when they will be superstars, they will remember you having some work together before, and it will make you some price drops, or basically your workflow will be much better. So now it is busted. Let's go to the next one. Ads that you use with bloggers should be somehow different. Well, we have like this really good structure for every video creative we are using in Pixonic. We think that this structure is really good for the viewer to comprehend, and it's kind of really easy to watch our ads always. And this is the structure. So what do we use in our creatives? First, it is an eye catcher. Say you're browsing through the Facebook feed, right? And you see the ad, and it's just nothing happens for 5 or 6 seconds. You're just going down the feed. You should have something that is eye-catching, that grabs the attention of the viewer who sees this ad. So it can be something beautiful, like an explosion, in our case, or a CGI bit, or something that is really funny. So basically anything that grabs attention. Then you should try to show the real experience of your app. So if it is a gaming app, please show the real gameplay of it. If it is some kind of product, like not the game, show the real case of how you can use this product in the real life. The thing is that if you'll do this, you want the viewer will go to the store and see that this is the real deal and just install it. And if it will be only a CGI for 30 seconds, he will go to your store and see that the graphics are not too good and just go away, and you'll waste this click. And then by very beautiful pack shot with all the placements of your app. The thing is that not everyone can download the game right away, but you should have this image of where you are when you're showing an ad. So for the viewer to download it later. So the thing is that in influencer marketing, it's the same. You still need to grab an attention because everybody is got used to ads already on the YouTube. You still need to show the true experience for you not to lose those clicks. And not everyone can download the game right away because YouTube is the normal daily driver for the daily commute for people. And not to be just about words, here's one example of how we do ads on the YouTube.
Today's rap battle is brought to you by War Robots, a tactical 6v6 multiplayer mobile game with robots. Choose your mech based on your gameplay style and jump into battle with rich 3D graphics. Join me and 70 million other players by installing War Robots now. Link in the description. Do it now and you get the starter pack of the Leo robot, 1 King weapon, 3 Molot weapons, 100 gold, and 400,000 silver. Download today and I'll see you on the battlefield, soldier.
So yeah, as you see, it's kind of breezy, and you always have this eye-catching guy who is screaming at your face. So that's how it works. So the myth is busted. Let's go to the next one. You should rely only on direct installs. That's the way for you never to see positive ROIs. The thing is that working with YouTube and with bloggers changes a lot about your app, and you shouldn't rely only to the direct installs from the link. And here's why. As I told you before, not everyone can download the game right away. So say you saw an ad like this, and you thought that War Robots is a great product, and you go to an office, and during lunch you remember about our game and go to the store and download it. It's not the direct install, but it's still part of your work. This person installed your game because of you. And then your work will bring your app up in the charts. That means that you will have this organic boost, and because of that, in the Google Play or App Store, your app will be shown higher. And because of that, more people will see your app and download it. And that's the part of your work too, and you should calculate this as well. Plus, retargeting is a thing too. Every one of us dropped some apps like right away, like say I played this game for a year and it was a good fun, but then I just got rid of this. Well, if I see my product that I been playing with before, I see it like the ad in my favorite YouTube channel, and I just remember about it and download it again. That works as well. So don't count only direct installs. You do much more than this, and that's why you should calculate this as well. Now, the final one. Influencer marketing is good only in PR field, and it can be profitable. That's the first and most frequent myth that we heard when we first started. It slowed down our work really badly, and it got us really demotivated because of this. Well, as I said, we have been doing it for nearly 2 years. Everyone was saying that this is just a pure nonsense to get some profit from YouTubers, and the thing is that it is not true. We're an example of how this can be successful. So don't think that influencer marketing is scary, just try it. So that's it. If you have some questions, please shoot them at me.
Perfect, thank you very much, Andrey. Yeah, if we have some questions from the audience, we can whiz a mic over to you. We've got a few minutes for questions.
Okay, I can start on my own, really.
Self-questioning mode.
Yeah, self-questioning, the favorite part. So, like the frequent question that I always asked about is, when you think about YouTube, you think that you're buying an influence of a guy. So he should be him in your ad, right? So that's the thing. You're buying his charisma and everything like this. But you as a marketeer still need to make some guidelines for the blogger. And the question is like, where is this balance between you making a marketeer and giving a guidelines and person being a person? Well, the answer to this is that we have only 3 lines of guidelines. There is only 3 lines that the blogger should do. Everything else is up to him. Previously, I worked with the creatives of our company, and what we thought is that we should make some pre-rendered or pre-made gameplay with some, like, as you saw, bonus parts and everything. We do it by ourselves and give this material to the blogger, but it's not necessary for him to use it. It's just makes the work easier for him, basically. So he can still be himself, being a blogger, and, I don't know, record his gameplay. But if he's a lazy one, he uses our own materials. Okay? Yeah, question there.
Hello.
Hey.
Quick question. You talk in the first myth about how UA and influencer marketing are very similar, and I mean I have limited experience from UA, but I feel like it's a very metric driven and a very much statistics and analysis and constantly optimizing and essentially killing ads that don't perform. How do you do that within influencer marketing, or do you? Like, are you able to dig in?
Of course we do. So the thing is that, as you may saw on the slide that I showed about this, the structure is the same, but the bits are misplaced. So it's like you first get the app, all the campaign run and ended, and only after that you get data from it. It's not like in the user acquisition when you have it like real time. So the thing is that you just grab all the data that you got from the campaign and you analyze each channel and each performance. You look at how much time was in integration. Was it like 30 seconds, 40 seconds, minute, more integrated video, dedicated video, and so on and so forth. You see about where was the placement of your ad. Was it made by the YouTuber or by you? So you got like a lot of stuff to look at. And then you just optimize. You see like there are like 10 channels, and 3 of them were about fishing, and they were good performance-wise. And there was like 6 channels about, I don't know, motorsport, and it wasn't really good. So you have an idea that it will be better for us to expand on this fishing segment and go there and try like other types so that we know how our app works. So as you can see, it's like quite the same really, but it's just like you do it in a different time, basically, and not in the real. Yeah,
is it
there? Or there, yeah.
Oh. We'll try and get both questions in, and then that'll wrap it up there, I think.
Hi, thank you for a really good presentation. I just wanted to ask about the organic uplift part of the equation. So not everything is attributed correctly. How long do you consider after a video is launched to be actually part of that period?
Well, this is a tricky question because it's based only on your app. So the thing is that for us, like I can say this number, it's about 3 or 4 days. We see a really big organic up boost when we launch a campaign, and we just like measure for 4 days after this. But we're having this, we don't have a term for this, but we still see the installs coming in like the month or 2 months, but we're just making it a bunch. It's not like the organic, it's more about the direct. So the thing is that you will always get more and more. The organic can be much bigger if you will launch your influencer marketing in the countries you're not really present at, because it will make your app skyrocket in the charts and be much more organic installs from this. But usually, like in a normal situation, it's about 3 days of the organic app boost.
Thank you. I think we've probably got about 1 minute. So if the question just over there would like to, he's in the middle row there, the gentleman. Thank you.
So yeah, you were talking about the rounds of optimization in terms of seeing what different parameters you need to focus in on. Then how many, if you feel free to say, how many rounds it took before you became ROI positive? Because of course,
but yeah, I can say that. Like as I told, we've been doing this for nearly 2 years. It's exactly like a year and 9 months or something for us. And we basically do these big campaigns each month, like from the beginning till like this date. And it took us about 4 months for us to see how to make it positive ROI. So at the first you need to spend some money, but after that you go to the plateau of the positive ROIs. So it's worth it.